Unmute. Start video. Yay!
Hey.
Okay.
You feeling good?
Now I think. Now I got to get Pear Deck going. So give me a second on Pear Deck. So hold on.
Okay.
Okay. So this is running. I got to go to Pear Deck on my Zoom computer. Is that right? And open up the
everything document. It's on the everything document.
Yes. Okay. But let me see. It's on the everything document though, but I have to put it in Pear Deck though, right?
You just
because I downloaded it to my drive.
Okay, well, I don't know if you have to do that, but don't you just start it?
Okay, let me see. I don't think so. Let me try it though. Let me see if it'll.
Okay, in all honesty, I've never actually done it before.
Okay. No, I don't think it's going to start. No, it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, I'm going to do it the way I think I know how to do it. Okay, let me try this. That was my biggest thing is I don't want to get the Pear Deck open. Okay, hold on. Let me see.
So do you have to open up Pear Deck? Is that how it works?
Yes, I think so. And then I have to migrate it in. Okay, let me see here. I did this earlier today. Now, how did I do this? Oh, okay. Launchpad.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I wouldn't have known what to do.
I know. Okay, hold on. I don't know. No, I hope this is right. That's why I was hoping. I was like, I hope she knows. Okay, create this. I think I just do this. Wait a minute. Where's it at? Right here. Present live.
Okay,
now, the thing is, I got to figure out in a second how to give it to you. Okay, so
okay, share your screen, Debbie. Share your screen.
Okay, yeah, hold on. Yeah, let me do that. Go back to here because it's on my, where's my Zoom at? Yeah, I'm like, there's too many buttons to push, right? I'm like, okay, where's my Zoom at? Come on, Zoom. Why isn't Zoom coming back up? That's my problem. No, I don't want to join a meeting. No. You can still see me though, right? Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Okay, why is it? Oh, I know, because you're over here. I'm like, see, there's too many buttons to push. That's my biggest thing. I was like, once I get all the buttons pushed, we're good to go. Okay, so let me share the screen. I want to share this, but I need to change what's on that screen. Just a minute. Let me do this. Now, maybe share my screen. All right. So.
Great.
All right.
Okay, now look. Go to that open teacher dashboard.
Yes, that's where I'm at.
Okay, open the teacher
screen. Oh wait, did that close the code? Did I just close the code?
Yeah, no, you closed it. Now it's just showing.
Oh, I see what I did. Okay, yeah, hold on a second. Let me, how do I do that? Okay, I might have to end and start it again. Hold on. Because there was a code on my screen and I hit the wrong code. Okay, so let me try that one more time. Let's exit this and let's open this back up. No. Get on launch board. I just hit the wrong one on my other computer. I know what I did. Open existing file. Use. Present live.
Yes. Okay, good. Now,
okay, so that's good.
Go to open teacher dashboard.
Okay, I've got that. Okay, so my dashboard is open. Okay.
Is it the same code as what's on the screen for the kids to see? Is it the same Pear Deck? It's not two different ones, is it?
No.
Good. Okay.
Okay, that's on that screen, but how do I share this with, let me see if this is 3 buttons will do it.
Okay.
Invite co-teacher. I got it. Okay.
Yeah. But the code, oh no, it didn't. It didn't go away. Okay.
It's still on your screen, right? Okay.
No, yeah, it's all perfect. NOFAOL.
Okay. What do you want me to send it to? I'm sorry. Tell me which one to send the code to you.
Oh, Ginger at A+AL.
Yep, got it.
ALA.org.
Got it. Okay. Okay, so this is so you can see the teacher dashboard. That's what Michelle sent me before. So you should be able to get that, and then you should be able to see the dashboard with their answers.
It hasn't come in yet.
Okay. go to that screen. Then I think we got it.
I'm totally unconcerned. I'm sure you're good.
Okay. It's just like I said, I'll be fine. It was more the technology. I'm like, I'm okay. I'm presenting. It's just the technology.
Oh gosh, I didn't even know. I didn't even know what we're supposed to do. So, oh, okay, here it came in. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to take over one time. The only time I've ever done it, I had to take over. I've never actually started one before.
Okay.
I always like to hire people to do this.
I think we got it though. Let's say, okay. So are you seeing this in full screen? Like the Pear Deck in full screen? Are you seeing my like tabs across the top?
Hold that thought. I don't see
Okay.
anything at the moment.
Okay. Maybe I sent you the wrong code.
No, I'm seeing that. Let's see. 100%.
Oh, but it's not, but the code went away on the screen, didn't it? Where it said join Pear Deck. I don't know what happened to
I can't see anything at the moment. Mine won't let me go back to full screen. There's full screen. Okay, no, I see on the Zoom, I see NOFAOL.
Okay. But there's not the screen that said, which is fine. We just may not be go back. There's usually an opening, and I must have just exited it. There's usually something that says join
PD.com.
Yeah, but see, that's gone now, and I don't know
You
how to
just
get
say it. Just say it. They know how to do it. They know how to do it. You just say it over and over again.
Okay.
And then, okay, so it's NOFAOL. I'm just going to type it in so I can copy and paste. Join PD.com, and the code is NOFAOL. Okay.
Okay, then I think, yes. So then I did just a second ago, when I do this, it's on full screen. Is that correct? Okay, are you seeing our Zoom? Are you seeing Zoom on the screen too, or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll have to go. I don't know how she did that. Like if I minimize that, do you see my Zoom box now or no?
All I see on the Zoom is the first slide, AP World History Study Session 2. Do you want me to go into the Pear Deck and see what I see?
You should see exactly what you're seeing on the Zoom screen.
Exactly.
But they will go to Pear Deck, and so basically, when I have this Zoom, I just moved the Zoom down to the side so that I didn't have you and I up in the corner of my slide.
I don't see that. The only thing I see is the only thing I see on Zoom is the slide.
Okay, good. Okay, because I've got like on my screen with the slide, you and I are still down in the corner, and I'm like, wait, I got to get that off there because that's just too much stuff for me to look at the same time. I guess I can't get okay. I probably had these on opposite computers and I needed them on, but that's okay. It's all good. I got it.
Let me join the Pear Deck on my phone.
Okay. See what they're seeing?
Yeah. And that way, will you have your phone on you?
Yes, my phone is right here. So if you need to text me, yes.
Yes, because I want to be able to text you if something goes awry.
Yes.
NOFAOL. Oh, wait. NOFAOL.
I don't know why that's not on the screen, but I don't know if I can go back. Join PD.com, and then it's AOF.
I'm telling you, they're fine. Just say it.
Okay.
All right. Do you see one person in?
Because I'm in. Where am I seeing that?
I don't see.
Yes, I do see that.
Oh yeah, class roster.
Class roster. Yeah, I had to go find it too. I was like, where's that at? Okay, class roster. Yes.
This is great. Oh,
okay, we're getting it. We're gonna do it. We got it.
Yeah, you're gonna be great. I don't even think I've ever been the facilitator before, actually.
It was, I mean, the kids didn't ask me any questions. I just kept putting in there, join PD dot.
They don't ask you questions. And I'll tell you what, if you're the co-presenter, you can't even see if they ask questions. It's only if you are the presenter that you can see.
No, you can on the chat. It would be in the chat box. So you can run the chat.
I didn't think even on the chat you could see it if you were the co.
Yes, because we're both in the same room.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Unless they direct message me. If they direct message me, because we had that going on, because I'm like, where are you seeing that, Michelle? And she's like, oh, they're direct messaging me, where usually they should be just saying like to everyone, and then you would answer that question.
That's so what I meant.
Yeah.
Yes.
I might tell them that. I might be like, guys, while I'm presenting, if you have a specific question you don't want everybody to hear, please message Ginger.
They won't. Oh, I'm not going to say anything either. So don't worry about introducing me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no, I got to introduce you.
You can introduce me, but I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. Well, if you want to, please interrupt me, because first of all, I don't know my pronunciation. I'm never a great at pronouncing some of these terms. So,
well, do you want to hit me with anything? Do you teach AP World History actually?
I did for 8 years, and the last 2 I have not. So yeah, I have. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so I don't think you'll need to. I mean, I think that there's tons of stuff. Like, I don't think there's any place where you need to just ad lib. If all we do is get to the China one, it's okay. We don't have to get to the spread of Christianity. I always make them longer, just in case.
Okay. Yeah.
I noticed watching myself, there's a real lag on my end. I don't know what that is.
Let me try something. I'm going to switch the slide. Okay. Well, good thing I tried that, because I'm like, wait, my slides aren't switching. Oh my gosh, why are my slides switching? What am I doing here? Oh, there. Okay. I got it. I had to put my this down here. I want to try something. Okay. So it should have switched on your teacher view over there. We're waiting for responses.
The kids are in the dog one now.
Yes. And then they would be in, because is it on your Zoom? That should be on your.
And now it's let's warm up with some Unit 3 evidence.
Yes. I'm going to try one other thing. I'm looking for where I can read.
Oh, and Debbie, I changed that one that was where you had to write the historical thinking skill. That's now a multiple choice.
Yes, I think I saw that. I
don't know why I didn't make it a multiple choice to begin with.
I'm going to try one thing real quick before we get the kids in here. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I was like, where's the notes? Okay. Now on your phone, when you're on their phone, what the kids see, or wherever you're looking, what the kids see, can you see that I just put the notes on the screen?
No, but I do see it on the Zoom.
On the Zoom.
I don't see it on the Pear Deck, so you're fine.
Okay.
But I do see it on the Zoom.
Okay. Oh, I might be able to look at it. You know what I'll do? I'll look at it on my other screen over here. Because if I look at it on my teacher dashboard,
it went away.
I won't be able to see. Okay, I'll do that.
Correct.
I was just wanting to practice where that was. Okay. Okay. Let's go back here. Okay.
Do you have any AP World History questions before you start?
No, I'm good. I think it was only that battle toward the end that I'm not real familiar with, but I Googled
Chalderon. Battle of Chalderon. 1516.
Chalderon. Okay, it's just like it sounds. Okay, I got it. I think we're good. You can start letting them in if you want to. I'm good. If you're good.
Let's wait about 3 more minutes.
Okay. All right.
There's no reason for them to come early.
Okay, good.
I'm so glad.
What were the numbers like on Tuesday? What were the numbers on Tuesday? Were they good?
Way smaller than the first week. So the first week we had like 180 every night, and we only had about 100. We would have been fine in one room on Monday.
Okay.
Oh, just for your reference, I got another room going. If anything happens, I won't leave this room. I'll leave the Zoom open because I opened it, but I may have to go to the other one. So just
okay.
I won't though. I've got 2 very experienced people in the other one. I'm so glad that you're doing it. This is the first time that I'll get to see you doing it.
Yes, I'm excited to work with you too. Yeah, we haven't we met twice. A couple of years ago, I think we met, but then we talked again at Train the Trainer, I think, and so yeah.
There are 27 people in the waiting room. Let's give them 1 more minute, then I'll let them in.
Okay, sounds good. They're ready to go. They're like, let's get in here. 7 o'clock. They're like, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, let's go.
I don't like this 7 o'clock.
I know, I agree. It's a little, but you know, there are kids that do stuff, so I see why we do one, but
I know Rhonda gives me a guilt trip every time I complain about the 7 o'clock one. And you should hear the guilt trip she gives me on the Saturday morning one. I forget about the Saturday morning one.
I was like thinking about my weekend, and I was like, oh wait, I can't forget the Saturday morning one. I know.
But it's great right here at Christmas time. How wonderful to pick up a couple of Christmas dollars.
Oh, exactly. No, I'm not complaining at all. I'm like, this is perfect timing for me.
Oh, okay, so
yes.
Are you enjoying this? Do you want me to put you on more days? Like if I have,
yes.
If someone can't do it, you want me to put you in?
Yes. Yes.
Good.
I like this. Yes.
Yes. What do we pay? Do we pay 125 or 150?
150.
Good deal. Okay, listen, I'm gonna start letting them in. Hey,
yes,
good luck.
Thank
you. If you get flustered, just remember it's just a bunch of kids.
Yes, I know. I got you. I think I got it. I'm just gonna talk to my blank screen. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna admit them. Good luck.
Okay, thanks. Hi guys, as everyone's joining, please go to joinpd.com, and the code is at the top of the screen, NOFAOL. Joinpd.com once you all get in here. The code is NOFAOL. Good evening, everyone. Wait till a couple more of y'all get in here. Hi, everyone. My name is Debbie Scott, and I'm excited to be working with you tonight. Please go to joinpd.com, and the code is NOFAOL. Good evening, y'all. As everyone's joining, I'm going to say this over and over again. Please go to joinpd.com. The code is NOFAOL. We got a couple more minutes. We'll wait on y'all to get here. Got about 12 or 13 in the pair deck. You can also look in the chat. We have the joinpd.com and the code in the chat. Joinpd.com, code NOFAOL. Happy Thursday, everyone. As everyone starts joining, you need to go to joinpd.com, and the code is NOFAOL. We've got about 30 of y'all in the pair deck, 32, 33 out of the 50. If you also need the code, feel free to go to the chat in Zoom, and it's also listed in there. Joinpd.com, code NOFAOL. Happy Thursday, y'all. We got a couple more minutes till we start. We need to log into the pair deck. Joinpd.com, code NOFAOL. We got 58 of y'all in the Zoom call, and I've got 39 of y'all in the pair deck. So check in the chat for the code. It is NOFAOL is the code. You go to joinpd.com. I apologize, that's not on the screen. For some reason, I exited that out too early. Make sure you all are muted. I think you are, because I think when we admit you in the room, you're muted. If you want to put your video off, you can do that as well, because I'll have the Zoom minimized, so I won't even see y'all when I'm talking. Happy Thursday. Couple more weeks till break, guys, right? One semester almost down for y'all. It is about 7 o'clock. It just turned on my computer. I'm gonna wait another minute or so. As y'all are joining, joinpd.com, code NOFAOL. It's also in the chat, so check the chat box. We're also listing it in there. Good Thursday evening, y'all. I'm going to wait just a minute or so. I've got 72 of y'all in the Zoom call, but only 50 in the Pear Deck. So I need you to go to joinpd.com, code NOFAOL. Joinpd.com, code NOFAOL. Oops. Good evening, y'all. Joinpd.com, code NOFAOL. I've got 56 of y'all in the Pear Deck and 80 of y'all in the room. So I need to get y'all on the Pear Deck. We published these takeaways for your teachers so you can prove that you were here tonight and prove that you were participating. So join the Pear Deck, joinpd.com. The code NOFAOL. You should see that in the upper right-hand corner, the code. And it's joinpd.com. Check the chat box for more information, or if you need some help, send us a chat. I got about 20 of y'all that are not in the Pear Deck yet. I'm going to start in just about another minute so we can get through this. Joinpd.com. The code is NOFAOL. We're up to 67 in the Pear Deck. Check the chat if you need to. If you have questions or you're having trouble getting in the Pear Deck, it'll be on your screen, but it's interactive and want y'all to type along and follow along with us. Okay. Make sure y'all are muted. You can turn your cameras off if you want, because I'm going to have my camera down, so I won't even see all 85 of y'all that are in here. It's a good turnout tonight. We had 50 some on Tuesday and 85 of y'all tonight. All right, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself and introduce my co-presenter. She's behind the chat box. Ginger, I'm going to let you unmute if you want to go ahead and I'll go ahead and admit. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick and then I'll get rolling? No, she's saying no to me. Our AP World leader, Miss Ginger, is behind the chat box, and she will be answering any of your questions. So if you've got a question, throw that down there in that chat box. Joinpd.com, code NOFAOL, and I'm going to get rolling. We got 77 of y'all. That's awesome, guys. But I got 89. I can't see 89 or 90 in the room, so we need to go on the Pear Deck. Make sure y'all mute yourself. Should be muted when you come in there, and I'm going to put this down here. Okay, I got some that are not muted, guys. Make sure you mute yourselves. Okay. My name is Miss Scott, and I teach at Bob Jones High School in Madison, Alabama. I have been teaching for 26 years. I know that y'all would never know that, right? I've taught AP World for 8 years of those 26 years. And I also teach a class called AP Seminar and AP Research, which is part of the AP Capstone program. So I'm glad to be here with you all tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get rolling. If you all are just coming in, check the chat box. It should tell you joinpd.com, and our code is NOFAOL, and we're going to get rolling tonight. All right, tonight we're going to talk about making an argument, guys. This is one of the biggest skills that we need to get here at the beginning is how to make an argument, and we're going to kind of branch that into how to make a thesis, which is going to be huge when you all start writing. Give me just a second. I'm trying to minimize this down here on the screen so I don't see y'all. Okay. So first thing, we got a little warm-up activity. How do you feel about making an argument in AP World History? So we're going to take that star and you're going to move it to the face on the dog that you kind of feel like how you feel right now. And I know they're kind of, you got to kind of interpret what the dogs are like, right? Are we kind of like, the dog laying down, first dog laying down, the second one, like, I don't really have a clue what she's talking about. Third one, you're like, yeah, I got it. I'm feeling good. The sixth one, you know, that he's kind of giving you the side eye, like, I don't know what she's got going on. Good. My screen down here. Y'all gonna have to bear with me for a second. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me show you the responses. We're all over the place here. We're like, all right, but I'm gonna tell you what's going on. Those dogs are kind of hard to interpret, right? So that's good. All right, let's move on, guys. Let's warm up with some Unit 3 evidence. So Unit 3 is the land-based empires. So the other day, when we did this on Tuesday, we found that some of y'all weren't there or not at Unit 3 yet, and that's perfectly fine. You're gonna type that to us when we have some interactive slides, but we're gonna try to review some information just to kind of set it in your mind where we're at. So I want you to move the triangles to the locations on the map for the land-based empires. Take a second. Now it's kind of hard, especially if you're on your phone, it's kind of hard to drag that, and we get that. Just see if we can get them in the general vicinity there. Good. On my screen, they're like all popping up. It's all good. Nice job, guys. If you're just joining us, check the chat. It's joinpd.com, NOFAOL. Go ahead and join the Pear Deck so that you can get, your teachers can get a record of your answers. I'm going to go ahead and watch my cursor on here on the screen. So East Asia on the right-hand side of the screen. There's China over there. We did pretty, that's the Ming and the Qing. I got a big old blob of purple on my screen. Let me show you, it's crazy. See what we see? So over there on the right-hand side of East Asia, that would be China. That's the Ming and the Qing. Russia then is a little bit above that into the Central Asia portion, which I got a whole bunch of oranges there. The Mughals, I got some problems with the Mughals. Well, we're pretty good. The Mughals is South Asia, that's India. Then the Safavids are just to the left of India. And to the left of that is the Ottomans. So it goes Ottomans, Safavids, Mughals is how I always remember it and teach it to my students. Safavids are squeezed in the middle. Mughals are India. Ottoman is on the left. If y'all are just joining, joinpd.com. Code is in the upper right, NOFAOL. It's also in the chat box. All right, let's move on. What do these land-based empires have in common? So check out my map on the screen, first of all, right? You can see the Qing over there. You can see Russia. There's the Mughals, the Safavids, and the Ottomans. What do land-based empires have in common? I'm going to give you a minute to read those answers. I've got 40 of the 96 of you responding. So make sure you respond. Your teachers get these takeaways. It's how you prove your participation. I know some of y'all get some credit for that. Got about 70 of you all. Let's go through some of these words, because these are some words that you're going to see College Board use. Autocratic leaders. Do we know what the word autocratic means? All powerful. So an all-powerful leader making all of the state decisions. Is that something that all of them have in common? How about using culture to legitimize and consolidate the power of the leader? So we're going to go over culture in just a few minutes, but what's the word legitimize mean? Like the rightful leader, the correct leader, and to consolidate is to make smaller. So do they use culture to show their power, their rightful power, and to make smaller the power of the leader? Or bring together and unify for consolidate? Or one last one, are they large, innovative? Do they have large, innovative armies using technology like artillery to expand its borders? Artillery is guns to expand their border. All right, looking pretty good. The answer is ding, 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 all of the above. And we're going to talk in just a second about some of those characteristics. I see my screen like changing your answers, but that's good. Okay. One more. What distinguishes these land-based empires from each other? So you have a 1, a 2, and a 3. Who used the Devonshire program to gain infantry for Janissaries? Put that in the spot on the map. Who used new bureaucratic elite to rule and required everyone to wear, oh, it's a word I can't say everywhere, curry, it's the braid down the back, I'll tell you that. And who practiced Shia Islam, sect of Islam, and sold Persian-style textiles? All right. I know it's hard on your phone. I've got some 3s that are over there in the words. So do the best you can to kind of drag it to as close to the spot on the map as you can. So these land-based empires have some things in common. So we're trying to get some things that distinguish them. The Ottomans is the answer for number 1. They used the Devonshire program to take Christian boys from the Balkans and force them to serve their sultan. They educated the boys in Islam, science, math, and literature. And the brainiest, the most educated, went to serve in the sultan's bureaucracy. See, those are words that my kids laugh at me. And the strongest went into the infantry or the army, yielding the artillery of the Janissaries. So 1 is the Ottomans. The Ottomans, you can see on your map, is over further to the left, almost getting into Europe. The Ottomans, actually, which I'll just do a little content here at the beginning, the Ottomans are the land-based gunpowder empire that's going to be around the longest. So they were founded in 1350, which is right after the start of our class. And they were not dissolved until post-World War I, so after World War I. So I know y'all aren't there yet. So the Ottomans are going to be around for a long time. Second one, use the bureaucratic elite and required everyone to wear a certain hairstyle. That's that word I can't say very well. I apologize. Ginger's probably laughing at me behind the scenes. That goes to the Ming and the Qing in China. The Qing dynasty was from the Manchurians, if you remember that. They came down from the north. They conquered the Ming. The Qings conquered the Ming. Goes Ming Qing. And they lowered all the Chinese, and the Manchurians were above them in social class. The Qing made a new elite group of Manchurian bureaucrats, and all men in China wore the hairstyle as a sign of submission to the Qing. And finally, the last one is Safavids. They were of Persian descent and always a little different from the Sunni, which were the Ottomans to their left and the Mughals to their right. So Safavids in the middle were Shia. On their left, the Ottomans were Sunni and the Mughals were Sunni. All right. That was a lot of content, wasn't it, guys? Okay, let's move on. All right, let's talk about writing an argument, because this is what we're really going to get into tonight. So there are 4 steps that we want you to remember when writing an argument. And we want these, that you use these over and over again, that they just become second nature to you. So when you get a prompt on the AP exam, you just know to do these 4 steps. So step number 1, We need to understand the question. That is so important, guys. If we don't understand the question and what it's asking us, we can't make our claim. We can't make our thesis statement. We're not going to know what evidence to use. So we're going to talk today about taking some time and really pulling apart the words in the question. Then step 2, we need to establish a line of reasoning. And that is using one of our historical thinking skills. So we're going to work on that a little bit tonight too. Are we using comparison, causation, or change in continuity over time? So we'll go over that a little bit. And the third step, once we break down the question, we figure out our historical thinking skill, is we're going to make a historically defensible claim. We want our answer to be correct. And then step 4 is we'll provide specific evidence to support the claim that we made and the skill that we're trying to prove. If you're just coming here, joinpd.com, code NOFAOL, check the chat, and it'll give you all that information in the chat box. All right, so let's practice these steps, guys. That's what we're really here for tonight. We're going to break down the prompt. That's step 1, right? So how do we do that? We read the question. And we reread the question, and we probably reread it a third time, and we're going to put it into our own words. Okay, so on the AP exam, and probably when you work at school, you can cross out words and maybe reword it in a way that makes sense to you. Because the first time you'll read it, you'll be like, I don't have any idea what that is. And step by step, you're going to break down those words to something that you understand. Okay, then we're going to gather evidence. So we're going to be looking at a picture tonight, and we're going to read the source line, and then we're going to read and summarize the document, if it would be a document. Now we're going to look at a picture tonight. So you're going to see the source line. If you have a document, you would read and summarize the document. And then you're going to read the answers and select the argument. So we're going to do one of a multiple choice one. All right. Which of the following best explains the process illustrated in the image? So what does process mean? That's the word you got to pull apart. Which of the following, okay, best, okay, explains the process? If we don't know what the process is, we don't really know what's being illustrated in the image. Illustrated is drawn in the image. So we need to figure out process. College Board likes to use these same words, okay? So if there's a handful, 2 handfuls, a couple of common words that you'll see over and over again, then once you see them, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know what that means. Okay, the answer is A. What are they doing? A process is an action. It's kind of like a verb word, right? Process. What's the process? So you could cross out the word process and write doing. That might help you understand more. Which of the following best explains what they're doing in the picture? Okay, so on the next screen it says, we're going to read the source line. Okay, so we've looked at the prompt and we're like, process. Okay, that's one of the word that we're like, I'm not quite sure. So we figured out that's somebody doing something. It's the action. You can see that at the top. So now let's read the source. It's a miniature illustration included in a Persian history of the Mughal conquest of India, showing the Mughal defeat of the Sultan of Delhi at the Battle of Pantapet in 1526. The illustrated history was prepared for the Mughal Emperor Akbar in the late 16th century. So according to that source line, which empire, I can't read tonight, which empire is meant for this picture to glorify? It's included in a Persian history. It's a Mughal conquest of India, showing the Mughal defeat. So who are we meant to glorify? And with 59 answers, the answer is B, the Mughals. Good job, guys. It's the Mughal conquest. So we had this painting drawn up. It was prepared by Akbar Okay, so we had this painting drawn up
May we
to
have a
show
bathroom
how
break?
mighty the Mughals were. And it was meant to glorify him. Okay, so we figured out that the question explains the process, explain the action. We know that this was commissioned by Akbar to make the Mughals, glorify the Mughals. So what process or action do you see in the picture? So look at the picture for a second. It's kind of hard. So these little miniatures, the land-based empires did it, and so did the Qing. They're small pictures about the size of a page. And they're paintings. You gotta look in here. We see some cannons right here. We see some bow and arrows. Hopefully we see some horses. We see some armor, some shields. Land-based empires were also known as the, hopefully went through your head, gunpowder empires. So what process or action do we see? Now, break down these words. See which process, what process is illustrated in the image?
The invention of the stirrup.
All right, y'all punch it on your screen. Yeah, mute for me, thank you. Okay, let's go through some words here. States increasingly relied on slave soldiers to establish large armies. Now, in that picture, are we seeing anything that we think that looks like slave soldiers to establish large armies? Is there any proof of that in the picture? See what you think. Are we seeing the invention of the stirrup allowed expanding states to use cavalry more effective? Well, the stirrups are on those horses, but the stirrups actually have been around for a little bit. Okay, so I'm not sure that's the most effective one. To expand states to use cavalry more effectively. Is it the development of new types of armor reduced casualties and allowed states to expand faster than before? So is there proof of that action in those pictures?
Hey, ma'am, what's your ending?
Y'all need to please mute yourself or we're going to have to, unfortunately, kick you out of the session. So the best answer is D. They used gunpowder weapons to establish large armies, because the proof in there is the gunpowder and the cannons, and we're seeing large armies. So D is actually the best answer that you can find proof in that picture. Okay, move on. Okay, let's change a question and try something different. Okay, because step 2, we're going to figure out what the prompt says. Step 2 is figure out what historical thinking skill to use. Okay, so here's my new prompt. Which explains the most common effect that the process illustrated in the image had on relationships between states in Afro-Eurasia in the time period 1450 to 1750. Okay, so here we go again, right? So we've seen process, we know that's action. So what explains the most common effect that the action illustrated in the image had on relationships between states? Okay. Process. What kind of argument are we going to make? Is this a cause and effect? Is it a change in continuity over a time period? Or are we comparing something and contrasting it to something else? Okay, I got 77 of 111 of you. A couple more minutes. Another, not a couple, minute or so, 30 seconds. What do we think? Just one kind of gives us a little hint in the wording. Okay, the best answer would be A, causation. Kind of gives you a little hint on that one when it says effect, which explains the most common effect that this process had. So we're not going to say what caused us to have big armies. We're going to say we have this big army. What's the result of that? Is what that question's asking us. And once we pick that historical thinking skill, we're going to carry that historical thinking skill through our thesis and through the rest of our essay. Okay, so up here at the top, you can see we've highlighted that for you, which explains the most common effect the process illustrated in the image had on relationships. So use the steps of making an argument, think before you look, and select the best answer. So now we know we're looking for an effect. So if this was a multiple choice question, we know we're looking for an effect. We have this painting. We've talked about the painting. It's a miniature. Glorify Akbar. Talked about gunpowder. Read the question, reread the question. Put it into your own words. Then look at the answers. Okay, remember we're going for an effect. Okay, so this picture's happening. We're fighting. What's the result of that? That would be an effect. All right, I got 92 of you out of 111. Make sure y'all are responding. Your teachers get these takeaways to show that y'all are out here participating tonight. Gotta start moving faster. All right, answer is B. All right, it led to deepening rivalries and conflicts. So we're having these fights, right? They're fighting each other. Gunpowder empires are going after each other. It led to deepening rivalries. Okay, A is not the best answer because religious rivalries were the cause of the conflicts. Okay, they weren't the effect. That's a really common thing that will happen is getting messed up between the causes and the effects. So make sure when you wrote effects on your answer, you know the difference between the causes and effects. C is incorrect because the Mongols were before 1300. So the Mongols came before the gunpowder empires. So you can throw that one out. And D is incorrect because feudalism was in Europe and Japan. Okay, so that's a little trick when you go through these as multiple choice. If you find one that's not correct, I told my students to exit out. So when you're reading that, you're like, feudalism, oh, that's Europe and Japan, that can't be it. Mongols, that can't be it, they were before that. And so you might have been down to A and B, and then you'd say the emergence of religions, well, that was the cause of the wars. So that throws you to B. All right. So let's try another prompt. Explain how a land-based empire in the Middle East during the time period used culture. Oh, what's that mean? To legitimize their rule. Okay, try that one. There's another multiple choice for you. Try that one real quick, and we're about ready to write. Land-based empire, so that would be the Ottomans, the Safavids, or the Mughals, used culture. Oh, what's culture mean? Culture, I'm going to give you a little hint, is art, architecture, and religion is culture. That's one of those tricky words, right? Economy, we know is money, how they make their money. Politics is usually government. Culture, art, architecture, and religion. So that should help us. The answer is B. And the question said legitimize. How did they make people know that they were the rightful rulers? Okay, so how they use art, architecture, and religion to legitimize that they were the ruling class. Okay, B is the answer. Explain a specific way the Ottomans or Safavids during the period 1450 to 1750 used their culture, art, architecture, and religion to legitimize their rule, leading their people to see their sultan as the rightful leader. What historical thinking skill do you think we could use? Because remember, we read the question, we figure out what it's asking, and then we got to figure out what historical thinking skill we want to use. Okay. Oh, we got a close race here. Actually, we think the best answer is B. It's another causation. A specific way the Ottomans or Safavids used culture. So culture is the cause of them legitimizing their rule. Do we all see that? We just have to break down the question. And then we're going to use causation throughout our essay. Okay. Now, start with the words of the prompt. Can't see what my top of the screen says. What do you remember about art, architecture, and religion with the Ottomans? Or what do we even remember about the Ottomans and the Safavids and the land-based empires? Type me anything that you can remember from this unit. Some of y'all are in this unit. Some of y'all are through this unit. Some of y'all may not even be there, okay? What can we remember? Any specific names? This is our evidence we're thinking of right now. So any name drops that we can put down there? Any specific, what do we know about the art, architecture, and religion? What religion were these? What religion were the Ottomans? Can you remember anything that they did with architecture? Anything specific they did with architecture? Yeah, we actually got to type, guys. Ottomans, one way the Ottomans used their culture to legitimize their rule was to, that would be where you would insert your specific answer. Okay, I've got to help grow. The Ottomans used their culture to help grow. What religion were the Ottomans? Let me see if y'all are writing some of that down. I got 112 on y'all here, so I'm going to scroll down through my screen. And then think about, what did they do with architecture? What was going on in their empire? With architecture, with the buildings. Okay, let me give you some, let's do some content for a second. In the Ottoman Empire, they rewrote the laws by recoding Sharia law. So the Ottomans were Sunni Islam. Okay. They also built mosques that rivaled the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul. Okay, so they built mosques. That would be the architecture. They built big mosques to legitimize their Islamic rule. They also, we can use what we saw before, those little miniatures that we saw with the picture that Akbar commissioned. The Ottomans also used miniatures to glorify and legitimize their sultan. Okay, so make sure, I'm seeing some of this on here. Make sure on here that you use some specific answers. Okay, so if you, to say they used architecture, you need to be more specific. They used architecture, such as the mosques that their sultans built, to legitimize their rule. Okay. I just want to remind a couple of y'all that your teachers are getting your takeaways tonight. So whatever you're writing on here, your teachers do get a copy of that. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's try this a little bit more. Okay. So if we want to be more complex, did I get my right screen? Which of the following best demonstrates the understanding of this new prompt? Okay, so now we're going to go to European expansion. Am I in the right one? Let's see. Yeah, I guess we are. Okay. Hold on, let me back up for, I'm sorry, it's probably gonna mess y'all's screen up in a second. No, maybe not. Okay. Another multiple choice question. Develop an argument that evaluates the extent to which the economy of East Asian states in this time period changed in response to European expansion. All right, we got a lot going on here, right? Economy, let's break down that word first, right? You got to break down this question. What does it mean? The economy is money, how they make their money. It's the first thing I usually told my students. How they make their money. So there's money, there's currency, there's jobs. Trading would be a job, which has to do with money. So that's big during this time period. Of East Asian states. All right, so what's East Asia, right? East Asian states. So that was where the Chinese over there, Chinese, Ming and Qing, in this time period changed in response to the Europeans expanding. So the Europeans, that's the maritime empires, right? They went out and expanded and sailed, found the new world, started trading, came over to the Indian Ocean. That's all Unit 4. If y'all are bringing that back. So how is all that affecting each other? Okay. Here, the best answer is B. Okay. So as Europeans arrived in East Asia, how did the East Asians change their economy? That's kind of just restating it, right? You didn't give an answer in that one. You've got to be specific with an answer. So B says, as Europeans, like the Portuguese and Dutch, see, we're being specific there, as entered the Indian Ocean route, we're being specific. How did the Chinese change the way they traded? That's the East Asia, right? That's Chinese. So what we're doing here is we're picking apart those words to figure out what that's actually saying. All right. So now we're situated here. We're thinking about the Europeans, Portuguese and Dutch. If we're thinking about them coming into the Indian Ocean, how did China change the way they traded? What historical thinking skill do we have going on there? Okay. Which economy or trade of East Asian states like China changed in response to the Europeans, like the Portuguese and Dutch expansion into the Indian Ocean trade network? Okay. This one could go two ways. Okay. We're going to pick one and stick with it, but it could go two ways. So what we think is potentially the best answer is the change in continuity over time. Because the key word is, how is it transformed? Okay. Now, you could do cause. What was the cause of this transformation? We're going to stick with CCOT. But it's important when you pick one, stay with that and make your argument based off of that word and carry that whole word through your essay. Okay, but we're going to stick with change. What changed in response to this? And take the word change with us. So you can see it here in the prompt. What do we remember about Chinese and their trade with the Europeans. Okay. What do we remember about the Chinese and their trade with the Europeans? So economy, jobs, trade, currency. What do we remember about that? So we're going to kind of brainstorm here for just a minute. And at this point in time, just jot me down what you're remembering. Okay, East Asian states like China. So we're focusing on China. And we're going to focus on Europeans like the Portuguese and Dutch in the Indian Ocean Trade Network. Oh, I'm seeing some good ones. Yes. Okay, so trade. So start with trade. What are we trading? What does East Asia have? It's just something we can think about. I'm seeing this a lot. A lot of us are getting this. China traded luxury goods. Yes. Okay, that's a good, depending on how we weave that in there. Silk, spices, and tea. Remember those items? Everybody wants China's silk, spices, and tea. All right. What does China want in return then? The Europeans went out and explored. What did they want in return for their silk, spices, and tea? And what kind of trade policy did the Chinese adapt for the Europeans? So we're trading. China's going to adapt a policy. How they want to trade with the Europeans. What do they want? Oh, I'm seeing it. There's a specific thing in this unit. Silver. Remember silver? Silver becomes eventually the global currency. Europeans find silver. China decides they like silver. China says their policy then is, if you want our silk, spices, and tea, we want your silver. So the Europeans had to continually go and find silver so they could bring it to the Chinese to trade for silk, spices, and tea. All right, do we know? This is getting specific. Let's see if I see it in any of them. I got 100 and some thirds go down through here, so I don't know. Do we know what port? Where did the Europeans come when they traded with the Chinese? There's a specific port. Okay. Canton. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. You might have written some things about Chinese policy of favoring their culture above all others. China controlled trade because they had goods like silk, spices, porcelain, and tea, and the other empires so desperately wanted them. All right, let's move on. Okay, let's get into writing the claim. Now, before y'all type, I want you to write out this whole statement here. We're going to go with silver first. I want you to get in the practice of typing this whole thing out. So we're going to start with the Qing dynasty in China changed its economy from 1450 to 1750 in response to European expansion by, I want you to type the whole thing, restricting trade with the Europeans to, you fill in the blank. Tell me something about silver at that point in time. Okay, so get in the practice of typing the whole thing. The Qing dynasty in China changed its economy from 1450 to 1750 in response to European expansion by restricting trade with the Europeans, and then you fill in the rest of it. Add something about silver, right? The Qing changed in response to the Europeans They restricted trade to the Europeans. The Europeans had to do what in response to silver? We're going to put some of our facts right there that we know about silver and what China did with silver. They restricted trade with the Europeans. Good, I got some stuff. They would only trade if they were given silver. Good job, Samuel. Restricting trade with the Europeans to only allow them to pay with silver. That's good. Okay, good. I got some stuff about silk, spices, and tea. They only asked for silver. Good. They restricted their trade with the Europeans to get more silver, to pay with silver. Good. That's what we're looking for in this one, right? So that's the first part. This is what's called a chicken fit, okay? To make a really good claim or a thesis statement, we need two parts to our thesis or to our claim, okay? So this is our first one. We're going to talk about silver. Restricting the trade to only silver would be a good way to finish that, okay? Then you're going to take that exact word. Let me tell you where we're going with this. If we can get this chicken wing right, okay, your essay is going to be written for you. Okay, so we're going to take the time right here to get this thesis statement right. And then once we get our thesis statement, we take that part of the thesis and it becomes our essay. Okay, another word right here real quick. Monetization. It looks like the word money. Okay, so they restricted trade to only silver, their sole form of monetization. Okay, in case you see that, just want to throw that word at you. This is my voice, guys. Okay, so we're going to do a two-part. So what's the second one? I kind of told you a little bit about this one, but this one's kind of, I'm not sure that my students would have gotten this one. Okay, but I'm going to go back and make sure they get it now, right? So they restricted trade to only silver. See where we put that in the top? Only silver in return for their silk, spices, and tea. Okay, so what else could we say? And they also limited trade to, I told you this before, I kind of gave you a little hint. What was the Canton policy? Okay, so good practice is, I'm seeing some of y'all do it, type out the whole statement, okay? Qing Dynasty in China changed its economy from 1450 to 1750 in response to European expansion by restricting trade with Europeans to allow only silver in return for their goods and limiting trade to the Canton policy. Okay, just a second. Let's see if you guys heard me when I was talking about the Canton policy. I told you just a little bit. I'm going to tell you a little bit more. And now if you get this one in May, you'll be like, I remember that Canton policy. This is a hard one to get the second, right? This is a really specific policy. So let's talk about this one real quick. By limiting trade to the Canton policy, where we just, y'all got it. You like, by limiting trade to the Canton policy, where? And we're trying to like, what was that? Okay. Let me help you along a little bit because we're kind of running short on time. I got one more try. Canton policy was where the Chinese restricted trade to only the port at Canton. So Europeans are going to sail in there and they want to trade, right? So China said, you can only come trade with us at this one port, Canton, okay? You can't bring your warships in here, okay? You can't bring any firearms in here. And the Europeans had no rights. So only trade in that one port. Europeans, don't bring your firearms, don't bring your warships in here. They limited their rights and they were confined to a small area outside the city walls. subject to Chinese law and restrictions. So this isn't going to make the Europeans really happy. Okay, they want the silk spices and tea, and they want to get in there and they want to trade, but they're like, oh, you're restricting us to one port and this one area? Okay, so eventually this is going to lead to some conflict. All right, but again, we're trying our best to come up with what changed. China says one port. China says, give me silver. All right, so now we practice our chicken feet. You may want to write that out. You have space on your LEQ or your DBQ when you write a thesis. You're going to have scratch spaces onto the sides, and you may want to make yourself that chicken foot to remind yourself to have two parts to your claim, thesis, whichever, those words can be used interchangeably. So when it's written out, this is what it looks like. Qing Dynasty in China changed its economy from 1450 to 1750 in response to European expansion by restricting trade with the Europeans to allow only silver in return for Chinese goods and limiting trade to just one port. Okay, one thing before I flip the screen, I want you to look at real quick though. Look at those words that are bolded. Okay, those are, I almost want to say action words a little bit, right? You make a claim. That's why you're making that claim. They restricted it. They took it down. They limited it. They took it down. So you're using some semi-action words to make your argument because you're arguing for something. Okay. All right, before we try one more, let's think for a second. This takes a lot of time, right? And we're running short on time, so I'm just going to briefly look at another one. So should you spend this much time on one question? Well, I'm going to argue that you're going to get faster. But I'm also going to argue that, yes, you do need to spend a little time at the beginning. Because if we get those two parts to our chicken wing, and if we get two specific claims with a historical thinking skill that answers the question, our essay is written for us, except we have to elaborate on that and tell the specific story in our body paragraphs. So I'm going to argue that taking some time to really read the prompt, break down the words, figure out what you want to say, take that time, and then you just take those exact words and you will use them as your topic sentence in your body paragraphs. Okay, so you're going to get faster as you practice, but take the time to figure out what's going on first. All right, one more. I'm going to fly through this real quick, guys, because we got about 8 more minutes, and then I'll ask for some questions. So put this prompt into your own words and select the historical thinking skill. In the period 1450 to 1750, the global exchange in trans-regional contacts led to both expansion and contraction of existing religions. So we're going to religions, as well as the development of new religions. So as they expanded and got smaller, religions, what happened to religions? So develop an argument that evaluates the extent to which military conflict or conquest was the main cause of religious change in this time period. What's military conflict mean? Right? Fighting. So we're going to talk about conflict and wars, or fighting with guns and gunpowder. What's conquest mean? To take people over? This is more likely a causation question. Good, most of us got that. How are wars or conquests of empires, how do they cause changes in religion? Okay, that change was there to kind of throw you off a little bit, but it's saying the military conflicts, how did that, that's the cause, how did that cause a change in religion? Okay, so now we kind of know where we're going. How did military conflicts or wars or conquests, how did that cause a change in religion. All right, write everything you know down about this topic. So what do you know about wars from 1450 to 1750 or conquests during this time period? And what do we know about religions? Religions expanding. This is your brainstorming part, right? So we've read the prompt, we've reread the prompt, we've tried to figure out what it's saying, we've figured out the historical thinking skill, and now we're gathering our evidence. Religious expansion. So let's just start with religions. What religions are going on in 1450 to 1750? Because it does say the global increase, right? There's two places we could go here. Unit 3, Unit 4, if you're there. All right, I see gunpowder. Okay, there's gunpowder empires. So let's start there. Gunpowder empires. Okay, that's what we kind of talked about at the very beginning. What religion were the gunpowder empires? Okay, so if we get that one, okay, let's talk about that one first. Islam. Okay, gunpowder empires were Islamic. Now, where there's going to be fighting between the two branches of Islam. Ottomans were Sunni, Safavids were Shia. We'll get there in just a second. So that's some conflicts, all right? What's happening in the Americas? What religion is spreading into the Americas? So the Europeans are expanding. They're coming to the New World. What religion can we think about for that one? I see age of exploration, explorers and conquistadors. Good, conquistadors. What country did the conquistadors come from? And what religion did they spread to the Americas? Seeing some good answers. So the kind of stuff I want you to brainstorm before I show you the next prompt, the next question. Can you think of any religious wars that were happening? So what wars were going on between the Ottomans and Safavids? Can you think of that one? And then we think about Christianity. That's the other one. Christianity to the Americas. That's through the maritime empires, right? The ones maritime meaning over the water. Can you think of any military conquests that led to the spread of Christianity? Okay, so how did the Europeans spread Christianity? All right, so there's our brainstorm. So we've gathered our evidence. This one is a drop and drag, okay, because we're toward the end here. So let's make an argument using the words of the question and write our first claim. So military conflicts and expansion caused religious changes during 1450 by expanding. Ooh, what word did we drag up there? Type, you have typed though. You typed, don't me. See your little word box down here? Expanding what sect of Islam due to the whom defeating the whom. I'll tell you, these are people. That's not the right word. Empires. Expanding what sect of Islam due to somebody defeated somebody. Okay, so this box up here, the first part of the chicken foot is what I'm looking for you to fill in for me. And you can write the whole statement for me. That's good too. That's very good practice. A lot of y'all are doing that. I love it. Cause religious changes by expanding. Are we expanding? All right. I know we're running right up on 8, so I'm going to go through this one a little bit faster. expanding the Sunni sect of Islam due to the Ottomans defeating the Safavids. Okay. The specific battle, if you can think about it, if you'd be writing, was the Battle of Chaldron. The Ottomans defeated the Safavids in 1560, and that kind of started fighting back and forth between the two, and one's going to take over some land, they get a little bit back, and they get some more, and they get a little bit back, and there's some back and forth that are going on. Now, it is between Islam, two branches, sects of Islam, but it is over political power and over land. Okay, so keep that in mind too. All right, last little part, fill in the blank. Spreading of blank, because blank conquered the Americas. So we talked about Islam at the top. What's another religion we can talk about here? Because who conquered the Americas? Now, this says Americas in general. Okay, we had the Aztecs and the Incas going on. Okay, so if we would have said Aztecs or Incas for this part down here, it might have changed what word you put up here. But we have Americas here. So what country group conquered the Americas? So the best part right here is the spreading of Christianity. Where is that? Spreading of Christianity, because the Spanish conquered the Americas. All right, move your pen to the causation words. So what are the words that they used in that statement when we typed that for you that showed you're showing causation, the cause of it? What are those words? I'm seeing a lot of pens. Good. Remember that using the whole historical thinking skill will make it easier to make your arguments. You are restating part of the words of the prompt. That's always good to do, but you got to use that historical thinking skill. And then your two sides of the chicken foot. All right, causation words here are led, due to, those would be some of your good examples when you want to do causes. This led to something, so it's the cause of it, right? Due to this, because that's the cause. Those are good cues that you're using the causation word in your prompt. All right, how are we feeling, guys? We're at the end. We feel a little better? Yes, no? Do we feel like we're getting it a little bit? This takes practice, guys. It takes practice for all of us. Okay, biggest thing I hope you took away tonight is read the prompt, reread the prompt, put it in your own words. Okay, with those words, those verb words, write it a different way that you understand what they're really asking you. And then pick out your historical thinking skill. And then we're going to gather our evidence. I see a lot of you in the middle, and that's a decent spot. That's fair right now, right? Like, yeah, I'm getting some, but I need some more practice, Ms. Scott. And that's totally fair. I see a lot of you over there on the yes side. If those of you on the no side, I hope that you type us something or ask your teachers for some more clarification, or continue to join us for our study sessions. Any questions or comments that you have, feel free to drop them in the chat box if you want to. I also got a spot right there on the screen. You've got a little box. I see that now. If you want to type us some, or it'll go to your teachers too. So any questions or comments that you have, I've got 114 of you on there. So unfortunately, I can't get down to all of your questions right now, but these will go to your specific teachers. Good. And some of this is good feedback. We're going to read y'all's feedback. Okay. Let's see. What's the fastest way? Oh, fastest way to identify a historical thinking skill. Practice, practice, practice. The more prompts that you see in class, the more multiple choice questions that you see. Look for those words. Sometimes they do say cause and effect, but then you got to make sure that's really what they're asking you. Okay. Thanks, guys. All right. One last thing before you go. This is a Google form link. I will drop that. Hold on, I'm gonna go off the screen. Give me just a second. Control C. I'm gonna drop that in the chat box. If y'all will fill out that for us too, that helps me get some feedback. Anything that I may need to change. We do another one on Saturday, so if your friends haven't come yet this week and you have a requirement from your teachers, anything we can make changes for Saturday, we'd love to hear from y'all. Once y'all fill out that Google form and leave us a little feedback, that's all that we have for tonight. Now remember that your teachers are going to get copies of your answers. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope to see y'all again. I'll be doing a couple of the other ones maybe, so you'll see me in and out on your room. We're almost there, guys. We're almost to Christmas break, right? We got it. We got it. All right. Once you guys are finished with that, you have a good rest of the evening. I'm gonna go over here. Find out where I'm. Oh, I'll do that. We'll be on for a couple more minutes if y'all wanted to let us know something or ask us something. I'm playing with my Zoom. Thank y'all again for coming tonight. Once you get that survey done and type us some feedback, you're free to go tonight. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening, and tomorrow's Friday.
And the new Fortnite season come out tomorrow.
I don't know how to play. Is that Eli? I don't know how to play Fortnite, Eli, but my son does. I have a senior son. And when the new Fortnite, like the old rendition of Fortnite, I don't really remember what he was saying. He was in there downloading it and got on there with his friends and was like, the old version of Fortnite came out and was all excited to get on there with his friends. So I'm not a huge Fortnite person, but my senior son would know. You're muted, Ginger.
Hey, Walker, do you need anything? Walker,
Can we send him out?
yeah,
think-
he's a teacher.
Oh, he's teacher. Okay. Oh, that's right. Was he here the other night? I thought I saw his name on there. Okay. All right. And who's this?
I don't know who this is.
I don't either.
It's weird that whoever
Okay.
that was came in on the 7A.
That is. Was it
You
wrong?
were fabulous.
Oh, thank
You were
you.
fabulous.
Thank you.
You had the perfect timing. You got through it exactly in an hour. It was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. Stop. Yeah,
Yes.
stop. So I
You
was like,
were-
look at, I was like, oh no, because I didn't remember how much was left. And I thought, oh, I spent too much time here, but then it came out right on time. So it was good. Okay.
It could not have been better. I mean, I'm so impressed. You were
Oh, thanks.
fantastic. You must do this for me again many times.
I would love to. Actually, I enjoy doing it. I mean, I really do. Like I told you, like I gave it up 2 years ago because my AP seminar and my AP research were growing too much, and I couldn't do both in a block schedule. So I had to make a choice, and I had been teaching it for 8 years. And so I did love it. I love seminar and research though too. So I do like getting back in. I'm like, oh, it's all coming back to me. So
Look, you were fabulous. I'm gonna put you on the schedule a million times. Okay, can you make the takeaways?
yes. Okay, hold on. Yes. All right, let me see. Okay, I
It's
am.
my bedtime. I'm ready to go to bed.
I know, me too. I'm like, why is somebody trying to get back in here? You must have had the wrong. Okay. I want to
don't know.
name this. Okay, hold
Must
on.
be on mountain time.
I know. A plus study session today.
Okay,
is
and then I
the-
saw 2 teachers, Ridge Watson and Walker Ott.
Okay. I wasn't paying attention. I'll be honest with you. I hadn't been mine. So
That was my job. That was my
Okay.
one job.
okay.
Listen, I kept moving those kids. I could not figure out how to mute those kids.
Well, that's why I finally said my teacher voice when I was like type something, because I had kids typing like Fortnite is the best game ever and like just silly stuff on their comments, and I was like, just so you know, your teachers are going to get these.
But so I just moved them to the waiting room, and then I sent them messages in the waiting room that said, "I will let you back in when you promise to mute." They
That was
never did
good.
that. I don't know what the problem was.
Okay, let me make sure my takeaways are going. Okay, I'm gonna.
Okay, name it. Today is 11:30.
Yes, I
World
did that. What I want to
History
make
Session 2.
sure is that it went. I did all that. I want to make sure it actually went where it went, because somewhere in the directions it said something like I needed to have named the folder, and I just want to make sure that it went somewhere. And I probably have to share it with Rhonda, I think.
Share with Rhonda. I never read any instructions.
Okay, there is Pear Deck down here. Let's see. It probably went.
Did you
to-
like this Pear Deck? You've never seen any of them before. What did you think about
I
it?
have seen them before.
Oh.
Daniel made some 2 years ago. Did Daniel make
Yes.
some?
Yes.
I did them that year.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I totally
No, it's
forgot
fine.
that.
Okay, why is it not here? Okay, the problem is I have the folder.
What did you think of this one?
I actually liked it. I went through it. I'll be honest, when I went through it like the very first time, like I had to wrap my head around where we were going with that, because I think that's what Michelle asked you. And then once we worked all the way through that, then it made sense to me that we're trying to figure out how to write a thesis really for LEQ. So then yes, then I got it, but I had to wrap my head around where we were. I don't know why. Okay. They did not.
Did you make the takeaways?
Yes, I said make takeaways, and now it says share takeaways.
Good.
But it didn't, please wait, we're carefully measuring and calculating. I may just have to send this link because it
I think
didn't
that's
look
all
like.
you ever do is send the link.
Okay. Because Michelle, I think, downloaded it to her
She's an
drive, and it was
overachiever.
in the drive, but I'm not seeing it in the drive. I'm seeing a folder for it. It just may be generating.
Send the link.
Okay. To Rhonda?
Yes.
Okay.
And then name
I
it.
got it. Yes, it's named. I did name it, and I've got a spot in my Google Drive that's got the name of my takeaways. They're just not there.
Okay,
So
and
I
then
think
is
it
there an
downloading.
email that you're sending to?
Yeah, I'm sending that to Rhonda.
Okay, Ridge Watson and Walker Ott.
Ridge
Watson.
Okay, I don't have his. He's not going to be.
It's okay. Just put him on the email that says Ridge was here and Walker Ott was here.
In her email. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Here is the link to take ways. And then would you say Ridge Ott?
Watson.
Walker.
Watson.
Okay.
Okay, so you went to Pear Deck and you started it in Pear Deck. I need to remember that.
Yeah.
That makes
Okay, Ridge
sense.
Osman, and what's Ott's first name? Walker? Walker. Ott.
Walker.
Okay.
Ridge Watson and Walker Ott, OTT.
Okay. Got it. Okay. I think I got it. I think I'm good.
You were so good. Listen, the
Listen.
other team, I was texting with the other crowd the whole time and with Rhonda. And I'm so glad you did it because I wouldn't have been able to do that if I'd been doing it.
Oh, we got it.
They had so much trouble on the other one, and they didn't have as many people in the Pear Deck as we did.
Huh.
They only had one. We had 115, and they only had 109. They had 109, and they were having all sorts of problems.
So like their Pear Deck or the Zoom or what was going on?
Pear Deck was slow.
Huh.
Did Michelle tell you how bad the first round was?
Yeah, she said we crashed it and had to keep pulling it back up and stuff like that. So that's
Yeah.
interesting that we had more people, but ours was not. I didn't feel like ours was laggy.
It was not laggy at all. You did a great job. It was wonderful. And I never hit the timer and set the timer. Okay, just for your reference.
Yes.
Okay, do you still have the Pear Deck? Do you still have the teacher dashboard up?
I will in just a second.
Okay,
Share
pull it
this
back
link
up.
with your students. Yeah, I'm making
Can
sure I
you
got that
see
link.
my cursor on it?
Okay, hold on a second. Other ways to, it went back to the takeaways. So I'm making sure that I have this all share with your students so they can view your responses. Okay, I did that. I published that.
Okay, let me just tell you something because I can't see it on mine now. Now that it's over, I can't see it. There's a place that says lock out. It's not on there now, Debbie, but on that bottom line between the closed and the show responses, do you see where that is on that bottom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a place that says lock out. And if you put your cursor on that and click and hold down the left button, it will pull up a timer. And there's a 30 seconds, 1 minute, and 2 minutes. If on Saturday it starts to lag, if you are the facilitator, put your cursor on that and just start a timer. And that will really help it because it makes the kids stop. Okay. It's that continuation of they're continuing to type, they're continuing to move, that's using all that data or whatever. Okay. Okay. So if you'll do that, it will really help because I'm not going to be around Saturday at all other than just by text if you need me. Okay. Okay. I got it. On the lock screen or lock something and hold the button down, the left-hand button, 3 numbers will pop up, put the 2 on, and then listen, when the 2 expires, when the 2 minutes expires, here's the bad thing. The screen goes black and the kids don't see anything anymore. So just reset the timer. Okay. Does that make sense? Yes. Yeah. So like for my next slide, just reset for 2 minutes and then they're going to see something. You're just going to have, so once you start that, you have to keep resetting. Well, unless you're finished. If you're finished, move to the next slide. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So if I'm not finished with them typing, I can give them more time. But if I am finished, then just move to the next slide. Okay. But you should, if you're the one talking, you shouldn't be the one doing it. Whoever's not talking should do it. Okay. Okay. Because if you're talking, that's like kind of all you can think about, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. And then you're reading the notes and you're thinking about what to say and you're checking their answers. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So either one of y'all can do it on Saturday. Y'all are both great. Okay. But whoever's not doing it, if you see it lagging, start using the timer. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Because Michelle had said you mentioned there's a timer, but she didn't know where it was either. So I'll make sure and let her know where that timer is. Perfect. Yeah. Like I said, it says lock response or something, but you don't want to lock it. You want to give them a time and then it locks. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Ginger. It was great working with you. You were fabulous. Oh, thank you. Fabulous. Stop. Okay. Thanks. All right. Bye. Have a great rest of the night. Yes, you too. Bye. Bye.